with another Marvel Legends action figure review. And I got another Thor Ragnarok wave figure to look at, and it is the Loki figure. So I was a little skeptical of getting this figure from looking at other reviews, but I also really wanted a Marvel Legends Loki figure, and in terms of sculpt, I think it looks pretty good, so I decided to pick him up. I'm also thinking of actually completing the wave so I can complete the bath, so that's another reason why I picked him up. But yeah, we'll look at him packaging, look at him outside the packaging and see if he's better than I think he's going to be. Anyways, you have him here in the packaging. Pretty standard Thor, Ragnarok, Loki, Mjolnir, little thing there. Build a series, build a figure Hulk. Pretty cool image of Loki. Got a pretty cool image of the figure. And you've got a little bio that says, "Forever a trickster, Loki's allegiances are often unclear. However, one thing can be said for certain. Loki always looks out for Loki's best interests." You got the Gladiator Hulk bath. You got the rest of the figures in the wave. I've already reviewed Thor and Ares. So yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the packaging. I'm going to get him cracked open. We'll take a closer look at the figure outside. Alright, now I have Loki out of the packaging, and this isn't a bad figure. I think it's not too bad, but he does have a fair amount of issues that really bugged me about this figure, and we'll get into that. But first, we'll take a look at the sculpt and detail and such. Come on, you just did focus. There we go. So in terms of head sculpt, the head sculpt is actually pretty good. I think it looks pretty much like Tom Hiddleston. Maybe not 100% there, but it still looks really, really good, I think. I have his little crown thing on, you can take off. Looks pretty good. He has some shadowing around the eyes. I have seen some figures in store where it seems like they went really crazy with the black around his eyes, and it's like all over his face and it looks really bad. So you're going to want to watch out for that. But if that's not the case, then he looks pretty good. The eyes are nicely painted. His eyebrows are glossy for some reason. But the lips are painted pretty nicely. He's got kind of like that incognito smile going on. It's just kind of cool. Got his ears there. The hair is sculpted really nicely. And it's also pretty pliable, so you can move it pretty good, which is nice. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And you got the cape, which has some shoulder pads here. It's got this teal blue, I guess, greenish blue coloring, and then yellow in the inside. You can take it off. It attaches via two holes and pegs on his shoulders. My issue with this cape is that these things don't want to stay pegged in. I mean, my right shoulder will stay pegged in, but then this left shoulder does not want to stay pegged in at all, and it's really, really annoying. I've heard that with a lot of the figures capes in this wave, they just don't want to stay on. This one's no exception. This one's a really big pain in the ass. It's really annoying. But yeah. And they can be removed though, so that's cool, I guess. The rest of the costumes, you know, alright. It's not my favorite costume for Loki, but it doesn't look too bad. He's got, again, this greenish blue color with the gold belt here and some green in the middle, which is cool. Got some gold buckles, I guess. And the sculpt of the outfit looks pretty good. He's got some armor on his shoulders, some purple on the shoulders look nice, and some forearm armor, which looks good. The hands are really nicely sculpted. They're in sort of these gesturing hands, which is really, really cool. So you can get him a lot of cool, sinister poses. And with the articulation, the elbow hinges move really well, so you can kind of have him, you know, it's kind of hard to do with one hand. You kind of have him pondering stuff there, which is really cool that you can do that. So I do really like that. There's a lot of cool posing options and options for expression, which is really cool. And you got the pants here, which are pretty simple, but they got some lighter bluish greenish to contrast the sculpting there, which is really cool. And he's got some boots. It has some nice metallic sort of gunmetal color with a bit of a bluish wash, which is really cool. So it looks really nice. There's not really much going on in the back. And as you see, you have a cape unplugged there. Actually, I can show you the hole. Yeah, see right there's a hole and there's a little peg in there. It's supposed to peg in. It doesn't want to peg in. It keeps wanting to come out, which is really annoying. This little skirt piece is also one piece, and you can shift up a little bit, which might get a little annoying. I don't know, it's not too bad, but whatever. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, in terms of sculpt and paint, he does look really good. I'm not disputing that at all. Yeah, you want to stand there, buddy? Yeah, there we go. In terms of articulation, he has a ball joint in the head as well as a hinge of the neck, so you can hinge it forward pretty good and back a decent amount. The hair is actually quite pliable plastic, so it doesn't hinder too much articulation. Ball hinge of the shoulders, which just don't meet fully straight out, which is a little unfortunate. It's because of the shoulder pads. It's not a huge deal. Swivel cuts at the biceps, double hinges the elbows to move very, very well. So you can get his hands right up to his face, which is awesome. And ball hinges at the wrists. A really good ab crunch on his torso. You can pretty much almost go full 90 degrees, which is a little weird, but it is still pretty good. Swivel at the waist. Ball hinges at the hips, which move all right. Swivel cuts at the thighs. Double hinges at the knees and hinges at the ankles with rocker joints. So he has some pretty good articulation. You get some pretty good poses out of this guy. In terms of accessories, this is his biggest flaw, and it's that he doesn't come with barely anything. I guess if you want to, you can count the cape, and he also comes with his little crown thing, his horned crown thing. As you can see, you know, it's painted in gold plastic. It's sculpted pretty nicely. It fits on his head well. You just, I don't know how. Just sort of plop it on his head there. Fits on nicely, not going to fall off or anything. It looks alright. But he comes with nothing else, which is really sucky. I think what they could have included, I like these hands. I think what they could have done, they could have included a pair of accessory holding hands and could have had him come with his daggers or something. If it would have came with his daggers, I think that would have really made me like this figure more. Or come with something else. I mean, he should come with at least some sort of weapon or something. So that kind of bugs me. Because without any weapons or anything, you know, you can get some good poses, but still you're limited in what you can do with this figure. So it's kind of a downer. But overall, it's not a bad figure at all. I think if you're looking for an MCU Loki figure, and you want a good Tom Hiddleston sculpted face, and you're picking up the other figures from the Ragnarok wave, I think definitely pick this guy up. If you don't need an MCU Loki in your collection, it's an easy pass. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.